Hey now, what is up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and yes, in just one short day, I have finished all of Season 3 of Daredevil, Marvel's Daredevil on Netflix, and I just couldn't wait. As much as I have been doing it for the other shows recently, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, I was taking my time watching just a few episodes every day. But this one, I loved it. Let me just jump right into my thoughts. I loved it oh so much, and it just further reminded me on why I love this show, this character, why Daredevil is my favorite show. At the beginning, you see that Matt Murdock did survive the building falling on him at the end of The Defenders. Do you remember that, guys? Because I almost didn't. But he barely made it out, and you see that he was saved by the church. And he's rehabbing and rehabilitating, and that was really interesting. I love that the show took its time to show not only how beat up he was physically and how he could barely walk, and how the times when he tried to spar and fight, he didn't have all of his senses, his hearing, and things that he usually would rely on to be able to fight. He was missing that, but he was also mentally broken, and to see how hard it was for him to get back in the game, this was just much needed, much appreciated, to show how hard it is for him to be a superhero, a vigilante. It brought the character back to his roots of realism. Elektra is nowhere to be found. They say she's dead. I don't necessarily believe that. If you don't see a body in one of these shows, she's probably still out there somewhere. Kingpin, who's in prison still, he makes a deal with the FBI to get out of prison, put in house arrest at a luxurious hotel just to give up information on fellow mobsters out there. And I loved Vincent D'Onofrio in this show. It felt like Kingpin got a lot to do in this season, and just seeing him rework the system, seeing him play these FBI agents, and sure, yeah, he's gonna help them and do what they want, but really he's doing his own thing. He's slowly regaining power from the inside, and he was always a step ahead. We get introduced to some new characters. This one detective who at first, when they introduced him, I didn't find him all that interesting. He's going along with Kingpin's demands to maybe further his career. He eventually gets promoted to special agent. But over time, and especially towards the end, I became fascinated with the character. And I thought the actor did a good job. I liked the fact that it was an Indian actor with an Indian family. It's just as small and as weird as it sounds, you don't see that a lot. Foggy actually ends up running for the district attorney, which was like, what? Foggy? Okay, but I ended up liking him a lot more in this season than I even have in previous seasons. Karen Page, wow, did she become interesting this time around. I mean, I always liked Karen Page, I did, but we really saw her go after Kingpin, doing everything she could as far as investigating him, and just, I liked that she had her own plot, her own through line. This is something that I beg for other superhero shows to do with their side characters. Make them do something on their own. Make them interesting. Give them a purpose. And I feel like Karen had that. Sure, she does one or two dumb things along the way, but I get it. She's emotional, and she's acting on her emotions. Also, there's an episode where you get almost a full backstory on her, seeing her like have a drug problem and her falling out with her family. New character, Poindexter. He is an FBI agent who's a little unstable, a little unhinged, has a messed up backstory like we all do, I guess, especially on these shows. But to see Kingpin see that in him look into his past, look into what he's been through, check all of his records, and then use that. Take this guy, twist and turn, and mold him into his own new villain. Yes, I should mention this. I'm not sure how many people know about this, but you don't see Matt Murdock in the Daredevil outfit this season, and that could be disappointing for some people. It took a little adjusting for me to get used to it, but again, you get wrapped up in the story, you get so involved with the story. It's similar to season 1, where he had that black outfit the whole time, and I thought that would annoy me because I wanted to see the classic suit, but I was so invested that I didn't care. I was okay with him wearing the black outfit again. I was fully for it, but when you see this Poindexter guy pretending to be Daredevil, putting on that suit and doing some heinous things, killing people with it, framing him, that's where it took a turn. Obviously, maybe not so obvious to some people, this character will go on to become Bullseye, and that makes him even more like the fight scenes between him and Daredevil, and just how he uses anything he can get his hands on, pens, scissors, anything. He can ricochet off walls and hit people with it. It made for some great fighting. There were some great fight scenes throughout this. Episode 4, I can't go without talking about how Matt Murdock is in the prison, and all of these inmates and these guards come after him, and it's all shot, at least it looks like it's shot in one take. It's our classic hallway fight scene where Daredevil, but this time they go bigger, they go crazier. They somehow outdid the hallway fight from season 2. I was amazed. I watched this with my mouth open, and I stared at this with awe. I can't wait to go back and rewatch, especially that scene. I can't stress enough how much I loved this show, this series. I can't wait for season 4. I can't wait for anything involving Daredevil, Matt Murdock. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you too have gotten any further in Daredevil Season 3. How far along are you? Have you finished it as well? Did you like it? Did you love it? Like, comment, subscribe. Later!